Hello and welcome to a live Golfers Ramblings, the last live Golfers Ramblings of 2020. I hope you are all well. We've obviously got golf nuts in the room with us at the moment. How are you, Mr. Jones?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. Played my last round of golf for this year. And yeah, that's out of the way and done with.
How did it feel actually getting back on the golf course for once?
Do you know what? It was nice. It was nice just to play 9 holes. I did try and film, albeit it was too busy. My gimbal died, and it was like filming in the Battle of Britain. So, yeah, no filming happened today. But it was just nice to get back out there, get my new irons in play, hit golf balls again on the course rather than on the range.
I think that's something we're going to struggle with as YouTube golfers now, due to a lot of the population going into this tier 4. We're going to be reduced to 2 balls, so then it's going to be even tighter.
Yeah,
I think that's something we're going to have to judge.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tighter, but it's going back to when we first come out of lockdown, the original time. It wasn't actually that bad. It was 2 balls with obviously 4-minute break, 10-minute breaks. So it wasn't too bad to get filming in there. Obviously, I play on my own a lot of the time to film, so it's not too bad. I can sort of just slot around people. So yeah, it's not too bad at all. Evening, Tom. Evening, Stuart. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate.
Stuart frozen? Is he there? Does he not want to speak to us?
I don't think he can hear you.
I don't think he can.
Which is even funnier.
I know, yeah. So yeah, we've got a few people in the room tonight. Hello, Darren. How are you? Colston, hope you're well. Mr. Webster, how are you? Pitch and Putt Golf. Jeff, everybody knows Jeff that follows my channel, Lee's channel, is a regular on both of ours and Corin's. Jeff started his own YouTube channel.
Then? Yeah, what a...
Oh, you can hear us now? Can you hear us now, Stu? Nope.
I think we've got a bit of a lag.
So yeah, Jeff started his own YouTube channel, Pitch and Putt Golf, and he's put his first vlog out today. So jump over to Pitch and Putt Golf and check it out. And obviously, Internet Daddy Kent is on the line too. So then, boys and girls, how are we all? Good Christmas?
I think we're going on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Christmas was as expected. Quiet, very different.
Yeah.
A lot more alcohol than I would normally drink, I think.
Well, yeah, why not? Why not indeed?
I think the quiet ones are the nicer ones.
It's been different this year, hasn't it, to be fair?
I think normally I would agree with you, Lee, but because of the year that we've had, I was quite hoping to get a couple of family members together and have an event at least.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm just one of them where we just do very small anyway, so.
Yeah, I quite liked it. It was quiet this year. Yeah, so. Golf. Anybody been out playing? Tom, you still not managed to get out?
Nah.
No.
And other priorities at the moment, as you're well aware.
Yeah.
In packing up the flat for moving, so that's taking priority.
When's moving day?
Effectively tomorrow.
Wow.
Been there the last couple of days, moving most of the clothing across. But then officially first night over will be tomorrow. Have a few drinks in the house.
Busy bee then. Good evening, Mr. Ray. How are you? Stephen, hello. Paul Nichols, hello. Right then, guys. A lot of you recently have asked me and Lee what our 2020 goals are, and we've pretty much boxed you off and say we're not telling you. We're not telling you because it's a video for us in the future. However, I'm intrigued to know what your 2021 goals are and what you guys have got planned for the new year. So, Tom, 2021, what's on the cards for us? What can we expect from you?
Bog standard one is lower the handicap. Currently off 5.3 on the new world handicap index. Hoping to get anywhere in the 3-point something range would be, I think, a very good year's golf if we're allowed to actually play golf for the majority of the year. Outside of that, experience a few different golf courses as well.
Actually, we spoke about this the other day. Obviously, you've managed to play one new course this year, haven't you? Which I'm guessing was that the Belfry?
No, in fact, oh yeah, I forgot that happened. So that's 2 then.
So
there was a Belfry, the Brab, and then the new Dunbarney Links one up in Scotland.
Okay, fair enough. Because I set out for myself at the start of 2020, 10 new courses, and I don't think I got all 10. I think I got pretty close, though, and I do think I got pretty close. So yeah. So let's have a look in. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you, Lee, because
I ain't telling you.
It's a video to come.
Because I'm not going to tell you anyway.
Good evening, Princess Corinne. So yeah, in the comments we've got, let's have a look, reference the question. So Ian Ray, play more golf and make some fun videos. So Ian, are you planning on starting a YouTube channel? Be interesting. Kev Webster, more new equipment, lower his handicap, and more holidays, Kev. Yeah, wouldn't we all like more holidays, mate? So new equipment. What new equipment are you looking at, Kev? So talking new equipment, putter's been decided. It's going in the bag.
Roll.
It's coming. It'll be here on Saturday. If you want to have a look at it, Lee, do you want to just show them what putter I'm getting on Saturday?
Gladly. Because I've got one.
So for anyone that doesn't know, I've ordered the Bettinardi BB40, which is that exact putter that Lee's got. I ordered it first. It's coming second. Lee ordered it after me, and his come first. But that's the putter. That's the one that's going in the bag.
And it's fair
Is that just a shadow, or have you been hitting that out the centre?
No,
that'll never be
my golf centre. Someone else has been hitting it out the centre. So yeah, Corin's made a great comment. Getting out on the course would be nice. So yeah, Colston's trying to get down to 16 handicap. Currently on 20, so it's definitely doable. He's got to get the practice in. So we're all looking at lowering handicaps. I think that's going to be across the board what everyone wants to do is reduce the handicap. But the question I want to ask is, a lot of people say winter golf is easier than summer golf. Stu, have you got audio and can you hear me now?
I can hear you okay. Can
yes!
You hear me?
Come on!
Fantastic.
The boys are back in town.
I tell you what, I've got about 5 kids streaming games in this environment, and it's just unbelievable. So, yeah, I thought it's just going to be a big delay.
You couldn't hear us.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, sorry. Nice to see you guys.
Likewise.
Not a problem. So, yeah, what I was saying is, do we think winter golf is easier than summer golf? I've got my opinions, but let's hear yours.
A bit cold, isn't it?
Very cold.
Yeah. I don't think it's good for you. We're not made for winter golf, really, are we? We're sort of.
I don't know, mate. I am.
Well,
I've got the seal skin.
I get out there, feel a bit stiff, and I feel like the hands are a bit cold, and it's all about touch and feel golf, isn't it? So everything just feels a little bit, like you're treading in kind of mud or the sand or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all right for a bit of exercise, but it's just not the same. We're all trying to be so explosive at the moment, aren't we? And it's not the right time of year for it.
No, I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly after playing today, and I've just about got the feeling back in my toes.
I'd say it's more beneficial to those who are patient winter golf, because you've got to put on so many layers. You've got to be prepared to extend your normal routine of shots, try and find the right clothing to wear that keeps you warm, but you can also swing the golf club. But some say if you get a decent day and you can hit a mat, you get to spin the club, so you can be more aggressive going into greens.
Me and Lee spoke about this the other day, and we didn't even talk about clothes, did we? We literally talked about the fact that everyone says the courses are shorter in the winter because they move the tees forward. But realistically, how much shorter actually is it? Because you lose distance on your ball flight because of how cold it is. You get 0 run out, so you've only got your carry distance, which is probably 20 yards shorter than your summer carry distance anyway because of the winter. So is the course actually any shorter? Probably not.
No, I mean, it is kind of target golf a bit, but everything's worse. And I think as like a better player would know that golf's all about the greens, So if you're going to miss, if you're going to miss sort of 30% of your 3-footers, let's say 2-footers, whatever you want to call it, that's suddenly you're just a lot worse, aren't you? I mean, it is target golf. You know, the ball stops quick, and we're placing, so it's always good lies.
Oh, period, doesn't
hitting
it?
fairways, does it not?
Yeah,
but you know, you miss some putts, and before you know it, that's your score gone, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And again, winter, when you're playing on winter, Lee, you're on a couple of winter greens, but I'm on still 18 greens. It shouldn't be, but it is. But those greens are not anywhere near in the same nick as they would be. So you're not putting on proper greens. It's just, I think winter golf's harder than summer golf, full stop. And I think it's a myth that it's easier. I don't know why people think it is easier, to be fair. I don't know where that's come from.
I think folk give more putts from longer distances in the winter because of the green state.
Yeah, I mean, I say I've played today. I've had nothing outside 6 foot. But like Stuart said, it's target golf. But I found today that I'm hitting longer irons in than I would be normally. So like one hole, the fifth, I'd normally be hitting 8 or 9 iron in. Third shot, I've hit 5 iron in.
Yeah, and off a dodgy lie as well. That's the other thing, is every time you get a chip shot, if you're not placing, you're
that's
it's always horrible lies.
The lies are tough, especially, and I don't know about you, but although my course is pick and place through the course, so you can pick and place in the rough. I try not to where possible, even on the fairways at the minute, just to try and be as honest as possible, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's quite strange, isn't it, when you come out of it? I mean, I think I would just place everywhere because I don't feel like it's real golf anyway. You know, if you're like playing here now and then suddenly, I've done it before now, fly to Dubai or California, suddenly it's totally different, you know. So I feel it's such a big disadvantage over here. You know, if you think, I always try and think, well, let's try and play the same as what the tour players are playing, kind of thing. Yeah. And obviously they've got perfect lies everywhere. So you just think, well, let's kind of do that, you know, because that's what they're playing with. You know, that's what we always kind of look at. So, I don't mind a place wherever it is, because in the summer, the ball's sat up, you know, it's, you may as well give yourself the best chance, because I guarantee you're not going to shoot low. Whatever happens, like we've said, you've got whole putts to shoot low, whoever you are.
Exactly, and on winter greens, it's tough to hold the putts. Wherever, I suppose, Tom, it's a little bit different for you up your way. Because
it's easier as well because we're links, so obviously we're right on the coast. Our biggest problem is always frost and ice. So our biggest concern is the greens usually around St Andrews in the winter can stay quite good because obviously the growth isn't as quick because it's colder conditions. Yeah. But you're just sometimes you're laying up 30 yards short because you're playing for the bounce and the running. Yeah, because it will just travel. So you can actually hit drivers longer in the winter sometimes than you can in the summer. Because
I suppose on concrete, because it's constantly firm, isn't it?
Yeah, and we play mats off fairways throughout from, I think, usually from like mid-November till at least 1st of March for the other courses. The old course stays on till the 1st of April.
Yeah, you were saying the other day that. I suppose I don't know about you, Stuart, at Celtic. I know Kent and Lee do play off mats. We don't play off mats.
No, there's no mats. No,
and I know they don't at the Forest or the Belfry as well. I don't know if that's
it is wet. I don't mind a mat. You know, if it's a good mat, it's quite nice sometimes. You know, when they got those huge tees and there's a whole spread of turf there, like the matted stuff. I don't mind that at all.
I don't mean tee boxes. I mean, we've got tee boxes that are mats. I mean, you know, the little mats that you're hitting off that you take around on the fairways.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we don't have mats on the tee boxes either. So no mats.
No, we do but only on the par threes.
Oh yeah,
so
makes
par
sense.
Fours, but our par threes are matted at the minute.
But saying that, Celtic's so wet that people kind of, you just try not to play down there because it's very wet.
To be fair, I've played today and the course shouldn't really be open.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be open. I don't know. But Kent, Lee, what are your views on mats? Because I know, Lee, you don't like hitting off them, do you, at all?
I kick it in the rough. Yeah. We're allowed to not use the mat in the rough. So I'd rather just kick it in the rough and then be done with it.
What's your reason for that then, Lee?
Say again?
What's your reason for not using a mat?
Because I don't like it. If you think about it, you've got, an inch? Ball's an inch higher than your feet. For one.
Depends what kind of
How
mat.
thick's your mat?
Inch.
See, I would say mine's is probably less than my pinky.
Oh well, I must have the cheap mats. It's like when you go to the, I'm always in the cheap seats.
See, I would say if you're hitting like woods and stuff like that off it, it can be a pain in the backside. But
no, if you've got driver into a par 5, you turn the mat to your advantage. You put the ball on the edge of it, and you.
Actually, we don't allow that.
Hey, listen, there isn't a rule book that says how you can and can't use your winter mat.
There is in local competitions.
Nope.
Well, in our we put a local rule in, so it says that.
No, well, not on my gaff, no. But to be fair, I better really hit driver into a par 5, so we're all right.
If you get a good day and you get the mat from anything inside 150 yards, it helps. You just fire at flags.
Ian's about right. Lee uses his wallet. He'd be hitting it at hip height then.
That'd be thin then, wouldn't it?
It is when you buy new putters.
Ken, when you buy your new putter?
Say what?
When you buy your new putter?
You don't know she's here, don't you?
I can see a foot. Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
What a twat.
Remember what I said?
Bright shade of red you've gone there, Ken.
I haven't bought it. Kev's going to save me. He's going to have it.
Is he?
I don't know about that shaft anyway.
What shaft in it?
It's got one of those tour spec.
Oh, has it?
You know, the top of it's carbon, bottom of it's...
Same as Lee's old Odyssey.
Yeah, I'm just not sold on them. Balance point's exactly the same. If I balance mine and I balance one of them, it's exactly the same. It's a load of bollocks, is that? They
do feel they feel different in your hands though when you're stroking it. They make balance. I think they do anyway.
Does it feel softer?
It doesn't feel any softer. It just feels to pendulum better, if that makes sense.
You don't want it feeling softer with a better.
No.
It is.
Yeah, it doesn't feel any softer. It feels they feel the same off the face. Just the way it strokes. Just the way it strokes.
I didn't really find that much difference, to be fair.
Do you not?
What Pete says to you.
I can definitely say that yours felt like it pendulum better. I keep using the word pendulum, but you know what I mean. Better than normal. Huh? Flowed better. Yeah, we'll use that. We'll go with flowed.
Sounds nice, doesn't it? Mind you, pendulum sounds like it actually... Well, that's what the putting stroke is supposed to be, a pendulum.
Yeah, your putting arc.
Mine pretty much is. Straight through and back. Straight through and back. I like heavy putters. Any suggestions?
Straight through.
Colston likes heavy putters. Any suggestions? What's the big Bettinardi one that looks like an anchor?
That
BB60. The what?
Nova.
Yeah, it looks like an anchor. It's a big old one.
Is that the one?
Have you guys tried Seymour putters?
Yes.
I have. Wasn't a fan.
Yeah, they're a bit different, aren't they?
I couldn't get on.
Yeah, I thought it's quite nice. I mean, I only had a kind of a quick sort of setup with it. Yeah, they were weird. It's kind of like you look down and you see.
You've got to make that red dot disappear, haven't you?
Yeah, you make the red dot disappear, and I always feel like blooming Zach Johnson because he's always used one, and he's like weird. Yeah,
there's quite. Do you know what? I think he's probably the only one that I can think of that uses one.
Yeah, I think Ernie Els went across to one, but I think that's not a good good advert.
That's not a good indicator.
just after he 5-putted that time.
Yeah.
What about this one? Payne Stewart used one.
Payne Stewart did use one, yeah.
Oh, and yeah, he did. Yeah, that's right. God, that's some time ago, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And what about this one that they're all raving about? What's the lab putter that looks like a...
The one that Adam Scott's used.
That one that he's just talking about.
Oh, sorry. That huge kind of thing at the back, and
that's what Adam Scott's using at the minute, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Peter Finch, yeah.
I thought Adam Scott was Scotty Cameron. I thought he had his own model of Scotty.
He's walked away from them, isn't he?
Adam Scott's the reason they bought out the Futura range originally.
Oh, right. Right.
So
Got you.
he originally had the Futura, and then he had the funny one with the weights off the back of it. So it was like the W with the weights off
That's
the back.
it.
They made that for him. And I
Yeah.
think they made the Phantom 12 for him, and then he's moved away to that cockeyed shape thing.
He's gone to that, has he? Right.
Yeah, he's using that. He's got it short. He's got a short one and a long one, I think.
Has he? Yeah.
To be fair, yeah.
He's a new Jesper Farnefrick, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He used to put with some shit.
Wasn't it the STX?
I was about to say that the ST. I always wanted one of them and never used one.
I used one. That's how long ago it was. I used to sell them.
Yeah, because they used to have like a proper rubber insert, wasn't it?
I sold one, and it was the same style, the T-shape, the same as Jesper Parnevik.
Yeah, I used to play golf with a little Welsh chap called Taff, and he used to have one, the same shape, the T with a round back. But it was just like that rubber insert on the face of it, wasn't it?
I think, yeah, because it wasn't at the time that TaylorMade brought out the Nubbins face.
Yes, the orange knobbly one. And then they bought the black TPI out afterwards.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Ian, that one with the weights on, that's the one that they made for Adam Scott, the one with the weights on the back.
I've moved to the Futura, actually.
Which one?
Oh, God. I knew he was going to ask me that.
The new Phantom range.
No, it's the last model. I just, I picked one up. It was nice. I had the Odyssey one before. And before that, I had the same answer for 30 years. So I'm kind of not a big putter switcher. But I kind of went to the mallet. I thought I'd give it a go. I quite like the sort of square-to-square vibe.
Yeah.
And, I've getting on okay with that, actually.
See, that's where I was at a few weeks ago. I was literally stuck between the Phantom 5, so you know the one with the wings.
Yeah.
That one, and obviously the BB40 from Bettinardi, and it was literally which one, and then I just pulled the trigger.
Choice.
Yeah, I was sort of swayed by a Scotty Cameron hater.
And you used the better.
I did. I used them both, and the Betty felt nicer, to be fair. It did feel nicer. The thing I found with the new Futura range, because it's one-piece design, it makes a funny sound. It's a different, so it'll be a different sound to what you've got, Stu. So yours will be more of a dead sound off the face.
Yeah.
Like you'd expect from a mill putter, but off the new Futura range, it's more of a dong, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. Yeah, I did have a look. They had them all at Celtic, and I was messing about with them the other week, and I thought, God, this is weird. I thought it was the golf ball at first.
It's dead funny sound. The different shapes, so like the 12, which is the biggest headed one, so it's even louder. So the bigger the head, the louder it gets. Yeah. So it's just like, that was quite off-putting, to be fair. That's what they're called, Colston, sync. That's what Adam Scott's using, the sync putter.
Oh, is he gone? That's what Bryson uses as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually look from a distance like the worst, kind of most basic bladed putter you've ever seen. And yet, I've never tried one, so I imagine they're pretty tidy. It's a small manufacturer, though, isn't it?
You want strong money for them.
Yeah, they
they're
want big money
pricey,
for them.
Yeah.
They do want big money for them. Because it's only a small company, like I say, it's a small company, but they're demanding Bettinardi Scotty money for them.
I remember, was it Yes, they used to do pretty good putters. I remember back in.
Yeah. So Yes have stopped making them, and Matt Fitzpatrick has been using one for 100 years. Bettinardi have just made him a carbon copy of a C groove.
Right. They were super grooved faces and stuff.
Yeah, they had the C groove on it, and literally Bettinardi have just milled him one, probably about 2-3 months ago.
Right.
So it's a carbon copy of that.
I asked Sync to send me one to review, and they said they're gonna, so we'll see what they come like.
Did they say this to you?
No.
Oh.
Surprising. Most people do.
Funny you should say that. Fergs, the combat golfer, Mason and crew, he got his literally when we played golf at Woolly Park. He wasn't impressed with it.
Really?
Wasn't impressed with it at all. So, yeah.
Well, I have to send it back, so it's...
Well, you asked him a little while ago, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, but lockdown happened again.
Yeah,
it's absolutely crazy, isn't it? It's getting... I was expecting it to be fizzling out now.
Let's look at the positives. We can still play golf.
Yeah.
we can still play even if we're in tier 4. So let's look at that as a positive. We can still get out and enjoy what we enjoy doing.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. So did Santa buy us any golf equipment, people?
He bought Debbie a lot of stuff.
I've heard Debbie's had a new golf wardrobe and lots of golf shoes.
She is fucking spoiled.
You start playing golf soon?
I am going to play, but it won't take me to rounds.
It's been snowing, Debbie. You don't want to go out in that.
I do.
That was bad, wasn't it?
You're mad.
You like that picture?
Yeah, it was nice.
But didn't manufacturers make yellow golf balls for snow?
Yeah, it made a nice picture. It made a nice Christmas card.
That's all it's good for.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, good stuff.
What about you, Stu? Any golf gear?
I usually forbid anybody from buying me golf stuff. I think we had this conversation in the other chat. But yeah, I got a load of lots of apparel, should we say? I got a couple of new pairs of golf shoes and lots of like trousers and tops and bits and pieces. So that's good. I think they're fed up with seeing the same stuff on the channel. So yeah, it's always nice, you know.
Yeah, that's it. What about you, Tom?
Nothing here. Didn't really ask for anything this year. I was a pain in the backside for the family. They were all annoyed that I didn't give them any options or ideas, especially the one sat beside me. She was rather annoyed. But no, I wasn't feeling Christmas this year, so I just didn't ask for anything.
I think a lot of us were in the same case, to be fair. You know, I think a lot.
Christmas any year.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Aileen did all right. She got 100 quid's worth of golf gear out of me.
Fair play. What'd you buy her?
Just a new gear. Obviously, it's really hard to. I don't know if the other ladies that are in the chat can echo their sentiments, but Aileen finds it really hard to get decent golf gear at a decent price.
Yeah, I'll spoke to her about it.
So she managed to find some bits and pieces, maybe not for right now, but for when the weather starts getting warmer.
Yeah, good.
I think you've got to look ahead, especially for the ladies. You've got to look at what's on offer now and go, right, okay, well, in 6 months when it's Blair and Sun, I'll be able to wear that. And it's at a good price.
That was literally what we did.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I did.
You've had a really good deal on them shoes.
Oh, the shoe. I mean, I think she's got 4 pairs of shoes. And I did, £600 worth of gear for a couple of ton. So that were clothing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That is.
She did all right.
Did anybody see the PXG deal they've got going on with those drivers?
250.
Yeah, I think 225 or something.
They've got they've put the prices down as well, haven't they?
So Gen 2 for 225. That's crazy deal.
Put the prices are down as well. I wonder why they're doing that.
He does that.
Get one though.
It's Parsons, doesn't they?
I don't know, mate. It's the first time I've heard of it going on sale.
Yeah. He bombs it and knackers everybody else up because all of a sudden his gear ain't expensive anymore.
And what about that Callaway? Callaway were doing a mega deal on their website as well. You could buy stuff and send it back and everything. I thought that kind of basically hit the retailers in the foot a little bit.
No, really?
Is that on pre-use, Stu?
Sorry?
Is that on their pre-use?
Yeah, it's pre-used, but I think you can have also new stuff and actually try it, take it on the golf course and send it back and get, because you can't even do that if you go into a pro shop and take a drive out on the course.
That's really good. I know, who was it? Ben Hogan did that with his Apex.
All right.
Well, that's Callaway, isn't it?
But he did that a couple of seasons ago when he re-released them. So yeah, it might be something that they've tried with the Ben Hogan line. It's worked and they've bought it into themselves.
So do you think I'll be able to send me MD4s back and say I don't want them anymore?
Can you send me a set of yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, mate, to be fair.
Damn.
What happened? A set of what?
Huh?
Jaws.
Yours?
All right.
MD5s. So Mr. Ray's got some new retro Adidas golf shoes for Christmas. Very nice.
All right, Lee, and he'll have some going in a couple of months.
That's all right then. I'll sell Graham my MD4s and I'll buy Ian's MD5s.
That's literally all I need now to set my bag up is a new set of wedges. because mine are knackered. Absolutely dead.
Go back
Not by a groove cutter.
There you go.
Not by a groove cutter.
Too much hard work, mate. I'll just buy wedges. I'm not gonna lie.
That's like saying, do you not clean your golf shoes? No, I just go and buy another pair.
Yeah.
It's too much hard work cleaning them.
I've got like 3 pairs in the boot and 2 pairs in my bedroom. It's just easier than cleaning them. I keep my car clean. That's it.
outside of your car.
And the inside, mate. I don't like it. I hate doing the inside of the car, but I do it. I do it. So Lisa goes to a golf warehouse, but buys non-golf labels. Obviously, harking back to Eileen. Looking at it.
I had to buy my daughter a panda head cover. You know those Daphne head covers? Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you try getting a panda. I mean, I saw them in, like, most of the pro shops that hang around, the one at Ross and the one at Celtic, and they had them all year long. And I thought, I'll make sure I get that because she's into her pandas. And they were all sold out, you can imagine, just when I wanted to buy one. I put a tweet out to, like, all pros in the world, I need one of these pandas. I managed to get one, but I tell you, it cost me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're not cheap, are they?
No, they're not. It's like 40 quid.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just get in touch with Daphne's?
Well, I did, but they were sold out, the
Right.
pandas as well. They'd sold them all out, you see. They'd all gone out.
Oh,
and
right.
so it was just a case of finding a pro that had one
So they're not-
left, you know.
They tend to sell out of the ones that the pros use. So like the Rory dog sells out, the Tiger sells out,
Yeah.
and obviously the panda. So who's using a panda? It's got to be,
I don't know. Maybe they didn't
got to
make
be
many.
someone on the LET. It's got to be a lady that's using that because there's no blokes using a panda.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on mine coming, actually.
What
What have you got coming?
A German Shepherd.
Oh, nice. They do loads, don't they? I can't
Yeah.
believe how big the range is.
Trouble is, they don't cover your shaft. And
No,
that's
they
the
don't.
most
No.
important bit.
Mind you, no head covers really do now, do they? I mean, if
No.
you look at all the kind of boxing glove ones, I'm surprised. Mind you, they probably want to sell you a new club and a new shaft, you know?
Yeah, the shaft rub.
Yeah, I used to like it. Like, it always
That's
used to
old
have a
school,
nice
that's
cover
why,
that would
Ken.
go down, you know?
That's courtesy of the good lady sat next to you.
Still, hey, look at this though.
Oh, there you go.
He's trying to tease you now.
What's this, like golf porn?
Yeah,
You've been cleaning it.
yeah.
You had the machine on that.
You machine polished your driver. That's class.
He sits there polishing it for
Oh
hours.
my god.
Do you get the actual machine on it?
No,
It
Just
does
hand
it-
polish it. Ah, fair. Yeah. Fair
that
play.
is super shiny as that stuff.
I don't have the time for that.
See, mine's dry. You wouldn't need to. Mine and yours is dry carbon. You can't polish it, mate. You can't get it shiny.
Yeah,
So
even my new 3 Woods dry carbon, I'm done.
that's it.
Sun's that low nowadays. You wouldn't want it that shiny, surely.
No, giving it that one.
Ah, you got to look cool with your sunglasses on there.
That's it. See,
I'll wear sunglasses, Tom. I'm not bothered.
Fair play, big man.
back to the PXG point of them being 225, 250. Paul Farnsworth has said, on the PXG driver subject, how can you possibly know what specs to order without a fit? Would you pay that money on a club without being fit for it?
Yes.
Wow, yeah, it's pretty. I mean,
Yes.
the shafts are pretty straightforward, aren't they? You should kind of pretty much know roughly your shaft, but at that price, you could sell it on second hand for about the same price. Give it a month.
Yes, but I mean, I'm guessing you did exactly the same with yours, Lee. I bought my M5 without being fitted for it because I knew what shaft I needed in it roughly. And
Yeah.
with drivers nowadays, you can pick up the right shaft for 1,500 quid.
Well, and I think if they're adjustable, you can fine tune it later. I mean, often in those shaft fittings, you know, you're going to get somewhere handy. It's never a big surprise, is it? Often,
No,
if you've
no,
been
let's be
to one before, you know.
I think pretty much all 5 of us could walk into a fitting studio and know for a fact we're going to be fit with this shaft or one of 3 shafts. And I think most golfers of a standard can do that. So would I pay that money for a driver? I have done so, yeah. I would. I'd still do it.
But would you buy the PXG driver?
Would I buy the PXG driver? 6 months ago, I'd have said no. But yeah,
it looks quite nice actually.
It's sort of grown on me. That matte black on the top of it sort of grown on me.
Yeah.
I'm
finding it hard to get rid of the. I got into the sort of tailor-made ethos with the stripe, the white sort of stripe across the top, and I'm finding it hard to let that go. I got into the Titleist the other week, but I still kind of quite like some sort of two-tone flash.
Yeah, I was like that. Obviously, I went from the JPX 850, so the bright blue Mizuno, into the M3. Yeah. And I had the M3 for about a season and a half, then went into the TS3. And I just couldn't get used to the plain cover, the plain colour. So, so I've gone into the M5 and I know it's like the lipstick around the pinstripe around the outside sort of frames it nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah. Not weird, isn't it? Because I can't pick up a tailor-made driver.
Could you not?
No. Well, part of it's because I don't like the look of that silver on it or the white as it was. And the other, can't do with tailor-made.
Why?
Change. 3 drivers in a year, they're taking piss.
Oh, Callaway.
Tailor-made. It is a bit annoying.
No, Titleist 2 years cycle.
I think it's going to. I really
Titleist
think
dropped 4 drivers last year and 4 this year.
Yeah, and dropped 4 last year. It was the year before.
I think it's
the TSI. The TS range was 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, but it was last year. It was 2 years ago. It's a 2-year cycle, mate.
Is it? Fair play.
2-year cycle. Well, they might bring 4 drivers out. So obviously they have low spin, lower spin, high spin, higher spin. But it's still a 2-year cycle. I mean, look at Callaway brought out 2 drivers every year. TaylorMade the same. Cobra the same.
I think they're all at the same game now, aren't they? With that,
I think they're all bringing them out every 12 months. So I think your comment of that, Kent, is invalid.
I think it's got to slow down now. Everybody's realised they don't go any further. That's it. I mean, they just don't.
I think
it can only go so far.
And I've said this on I don't know if I said it on one of my lives or one of Lee's lives. Rick it was on Twitter. Someone asked Rick. Rick had just done out his 2020 driver review, I think. It was a video that Rick had put out. And someone commented saying, I've got the M2, the original M2 TaylorMade driver. Should I change it for something newer? Rick's comments were, it hasn't been beaten, so no. Or words to that effect. He's basically saying a driver from 2014, 15 maybe, is still as good as the Sim.
Well, the M2 was one of the best drivers they ever made anyway.
Was. Or the slider, if you could hit it in that spot.
Yeah, it's not the problem with the slider is you've got to get it out the screws every time, or the spin drops off and it just goes like the ball just falls out in the air.
But if you could button it, that thing was a rocket ship.
Go so far.
But
I think most equipment brands now are, like you say, they've peaked out. That's where they'll go. The only way any golfer now will ever get any more length out of their swing is to go down the route of Bryson.
Yeah, in the middle that makes
I think you're going to see a lot of longer shafts coming out. I think you're going to see all sorts of people in 45-inch, 46-inch.
I think the new Sim 2 is already 45 because the standard Sim's 44.5.
Yeah, it's not far off it.
So I reckon this year will be 45, and next year you're right, 46. And you're there or thereabouts.
Because that Fratelli did that at the Masters, didn't he? He went to a 45.5.
Yeah,
and he was finding he was 20, 30 yards longer, and was he not the longest across the week?
I think he was consistently across the week. Yeah, but
see, I remember Sanderlin sort of 15 years ago. Was it Yamo Sanderlin? He used to have a massive long shaft.
He was a big boy though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a big guy.
It didn't look quite so big in.
I watched him at the seniors on. It was the Sunday when I took Faith, and he's still using a long driver.
Yeah.
Still using a longer driver, and he's a big guy. He's massive. He hits it a mile and all. It's a long way.
I had a 48 in that Bang 525. It's really difficult to time, but when you centre the things, I mean, that Bang was illegal anyway, or illegal now.
Yeah.
I think that were 0.89. So that crazy springer.
I think if you're transition smooth, if you've got quite a sort of a rhythmic swing rather than sort of a big flashy swing, I think a longer driver can't be that difficult to get used to. I've never actually tried, but
Try it, Stu.
yeah, get a 60-inch in a
60. What's the legal limit on tour? It's 48, isn't it?
48.
48 is the legal limit.
48 in long drive as well. That's all they can play in that.
I thought it was longer.
Yeah, pretty sure it's 48.
See, I thought there was a difference between the two. I thought the tour was shorter than the long drive, or it used to be.
Long drive used to be up to, what do they come at raw now? I think they come raw at 48, don't they? Something like that.
Yeah.
Before we start chopping them up and
maybe it is 48 though.
And tipping them and whatever we.
48.
You Google it. There you go then. So 48 must be the legal limit on both. Unless they get specially made shafts longer for the long drive.
Well, those Harrison quadruple X, I think they were 54 when they were using them.
Yeah.
Because Dan played with Harrison for, well, a couple of seasons. That's when he was sponsored with Callaway.
He's one. And I've seen the PXG boys try it, and Rick's just tried it. Have you seen that new shaft? £750.
Oh, the Autoflex thing.
Autoflex.
The pink one.
Yeah, I love the colour, the pink to black.
Matty's used it, hasn't he, off TXG?
That's when TXG used it earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Last year. What gimmick work?
I didn't see it. I saw the thumbnail. I kind of meant to watch it. Because it's like he's got this super flexy kind of thumbnail. I'm sure.
Apparently it's called auto flex, so it doesn't matter what your swing speed is.
Oh right.
So from, let's say my dad, Lee's dad, swinging it slow.
Yeah.
Or me swinging it over 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
We can all use the same shaft.
See, that's not 100% true because I watched the video and it still comes in 3 shafts: ladies, men's, and pro.
Yeah. So they do have designations.
So, yeah.
Is that maybe weight, would you say? Or
possibly, but that was still the one that Rick was using was the pro one, and it was 53 grams.
Right.
That's light.
Yeah,
so he said it was very, very light, but it didn't go any further than his what was it? Hazardous smoke X stiff shaft. So
do you know what? I think we could go round and round. It just doesn't make a lot of difference. I mean, and if it does make a difference, it's so minute. You know,
263. 263.
262.
Sorry, I've given him an extra yard for him bulking up.
Is it 280 now? Isn't he 280 carry now?
He's doing all right, actually. I think.
Yeah, he's getting out there now. 280.
Yeah. Mind you, but then he's kind of jeopardising because he's spraying it around everywhere. So then you start to think, strokes gained. You wonder, because he never used to lose balls. He was hitting fairways all the time, wasn't he?
Laser straight, wasn't it?
Yeah. Whereas now he's kind of hitting it a bit further, but he's hitting some miles offline. You know, it's.
I think that's the trade-off, isn't it? Yeah, that's a trade-off. I think at our level, anyway. I think if you're going to be long, you're losing distance. Because I know when I'd go after it and I'd get it, it's longer, but it's that way.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because if you look at strokes gained, all those holes where you were, let's just say you were going to hit a 3-iron, if you hit a 3-wood and smoothed it straighter, that would make up in your ultimate distance yardage. It's just
that's it, isn't it? So driving distance and driving accuracy is anything hit off a tee on a par 4 and above.
Yeah. It's pretty random on tour as well. It was always only done on a few holes. And so, even that's got a little bit of, weirdness. I think it'd be nice if they all moved into something like Arcos where everything was logged accurately.
I think now they're using TrackMan more. I think it probably will be. Because they're using TrackMan on pretty much every hole now, aren't they?
They're behind every tee now, aren't they?
Yeah, it's quite a lot of that.
So I think
that you see the laser now on even second shots going into greens and stuff. So
that's it. So I think a lot more stats moving forward are going to be truer stats, which is a good thing.
That's scary. We won't be seeing them 189-yard wedges anymore then.
You're still going to see them. You're still.
Did you see Bryson in his 8-iron with those guys the other day?
No.
He was carrying his 8-iron 302.
That was Kyle Berkshire, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry. What did, who
Yeah,
did I say?
Kyle.
Yeah, Berkshire.
Yeah.
That
Unbelievable.
Swung it, was it 200 mile an hour ball speed or something like that with an 8-iron?
Yeah, I ended up watching, like, I was absolutely fascinated
I
by
said
it.
he was doing it in the net, weren't he, on the GC quad?
Yeah, it was the good guys, wasn't it?
Can he
or
do
GM
it
Golf?
Yeah.
on the golf course?
What was that?
Can he do it on the golf course? Can he get out there and hit 200 yards, 300 yards with an 8-iron on the golf course?
Kyle, yeah.
Wow, yeah, it's at miles,
The
doesn't
good, the good,
a missing one is wide. As you
good
can
boys have
imagine.
been at the moment, and he's smashing drivers on par fives, and they're using scramble, so they're just taking his drive, and even the lower boys that are like Stevens, probably the one who's the worst golfer out of the lot of them, he's still able to come in with a 9-iron to par fives for second shot, and it's ridiculous.
Oh, he's flying at 400 yards. It's ridiculous. There's
And
a
that's
drop
him
off.
taking a standard shaft driver. He won't take his long drive shaft to the course. It's
unbelievable.
It's insane to watch. But Bryson's been doing an awful lot of work with Kyle through this last couple of breaks since the off season. Be interesting to see what he tries to do next year with his swing speeds.
Yeah.
Kyle was giving him some speed, I thought, as well. I thought he was coming in with some sort of nice nuggets and actually upping Bryson's speed, wasn't
Yeah, he was. That's what I'm saying. They've been doing it's like off course work with him. Bryson's been taking Kyle through the gym for his routine because Kyle's trying to get longer still for his competitions. But Bryson was teaching Kyle how to try and hit the ball a bit straighter, and Kyle was teaching Bryson how to hit it faster.
It's insane, isn't it? It's insane.
Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah, I think they were mucking about with a wedge with Bryson, and he started off swinging it. I think it was at 116 mile an hour swing speed, and he got up to 125. He got him up to 125, which was nuts.
125 mile an hour with a wedge.
Yeah. It was either a wedge or an 8-iron, something like that. But yeah, they certainly didn't even have the big sticks out at that point.
Well, I know the 8-iron, Kyle got it up to 300. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that, if he's hitting an 8-iron 3, that's got to be the 120 mile an hour ball. That's got 120 mile an hour with an 8-iron.
Imagine the spin on that as well.
Oh, it'd be insane. It'd be insane. Mental.
The thing is, they're all going for that 1 week, aren't they? I think even more so now. I mean,
That's all they need.
DeChambeau, if he keeps it on the golf course for 4 days, 3 times a year, he could win 3 majors, you know.
And I was having this conversation with my dad the other day. We were watching. I can't remember what we were watching. It might have been in Dubai when Sully was leading for 3 days and then blew up on the last day.
Oh, rub it in, why don't you?
Why? It was then. And my dad's like, he's just a money golfer. You know, he could be so much better, but he's just a money golfer. I'm like, why does he need to be anything else? Do you go to work to win medals? No, you go to work to make money.
There are so many pros like that, though, on the tour. Paul Casey, I think, would have been a multi-major winner if he could string 4 days together.
Absolutely.
Time and time again, there's always one round, whether it's Saturday or Sunday, and he just falls off.
No, I agree. But I think with Sully's got the ability to win more than he has, a lot more than he has, because he's a very, very good golfer. But it's true, he goes out there, he picks his tournaments, and he just makes money.
Imagine that for Paul Casey to do that, he'd have to get his cock out of his own house, though.
Rory McIlroy's the same. At the moment, when it comes to the majors, Rory either goes too hard at the start and blows himself up, or gets into contention on the last day, and for some reason, my opinion is he doesn't have a strong enough caddy on his bag to rein him in.
That's the problem.
He still goes with but even a good golfer should still be able to caddy himself round 4 days to win a major, especially with Rory's ability.
Do you not think it goes a little bit more than, Rory's able to control his own golf club and his distances, but he's not able to control his mind at the same time, where a decent caddy will be able to talk you down.
Rory can't control his mind, neither can his caddy.
That's what I mean.
It's just a drinking buddy.
Is that not
a good golfer, but he ain't a good caddy?
Is that where the caddy fits into being a psychologist as well?
Say again, Lee, sorry.
I said, is that where the caddy fits into being a psychologist at the same time as a yardage giver?
I think modernly, yeah, no, they do definitely now.
I think they have to be. If you've got someone on your bag, or sorry, if someone's on your bag, they've got to be able to talk to you in a way that they can pull you out of the ceiling when you've had a head off.
Yeah.
Look at Fitzpatrick with Billy. That's what got him the last comp. He was leaning on Billy that whole back nine, and Billy coached him round.
Kent's not a fan of Billy, but
yeah, fair enough. But regardless of whether you like him or not, he still did his job. He did what he was required of him at the time for his pro.
He's probably one of the best caddies on the tour.
And the light's telling everybody he is.
No, exactly. Yeah, he's a typical Yorkshireman.
Oh, fuck off! He's from Bingley.
You want a hand with that one, Graham? We've got a big one.
I'm going to need a bigger boat.
This one weighs 16 stone. You'll have a job pulling it in.
But yeah, I think Billy's a great caddy, and I think, like Lee said, that's like Tom said, that's shown where Fitzpatrick was leaning on him. Rory hasn't got that on his back. Rory hasn't got that.
I don't think he wants it though either.
He needs it. That's why if he's going to get that career Grand Slam, he needs a new caddy.
Well, I mean, you've got to just look. Let's flip this on a different way around. Lee Westwood's doing it with his missus. And he says that's helping him more because when they're walking down the fairway, they're talking about what happened a few nights ago at home with the kids.
No, we don't want to go there.
Rather than actually.
Did you see her face when he won?
I think Lee's at the maturity level now that, like a lot like Tiger now, he could coach himself. He knows what his swing is. He knows what his game is, his strength, his ability. He's worked on the weakest part of his game was always a short game, which he's worked on tooth and nail, and he's now got it fine-tuned. I think he's at a stage where he can just coach himself around the golf course, and having the wife on the bag gives him the mental balance and patience to do it.
I think Lee's always been a very level-headed character, though. You never see a massive emotion change right the way through his career.
Even when he was playing terribly.
Exactly. I don't think you see that emotion change.
Sorry, we're talking about Lee Westwood or me? Sounds so similar.
Does anybody else?
I've seen you have a head off, mate. So yeah, we're definitely talking about Lee Westwood.
Does anybody else find it absolutely awkward when they win their tournaments and then they introduce them to the family in front of everybody?
Yeah.
It's just painful, isn't it? Yeah. They got to sit there and talk to their girlfriend or even their wife and kids, which is sweet, but it's just too long. Every time that it just goes on, I think, oh no, this is absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah, that could be done off camera for sure.
Yeah.
Especially some of the younger guys who's obviously just got a girlfriend who's only known for about 6 months.
6 months to win another tournament, it'd be a different bird.
Yeah, I know.
Well, just look at all the times that the video of Rory playing tennis with Wozniak gets played back, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, he's married to somebody else now with a kid.
Exactly. Exactly. I think, it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Funny.
So who's down for the majors next year then? So I'm assuming
I had that question down for later on.
Did you? Okay, right.
Only good.
Get it out of the way now then. So let's do it in order, shall we? So we've got the Masters first.
Westwood.
Bloody hell.
The way he's playing at the moment, if he keeps that form up, that's the course for me that he's going to win.
I have lost so much money on Westwood in the Masters.
I don't think you.
I'm taking Rory.
Yeah, Rory.
JT.
Yeah.
Debbie's gone JT.
Yeah,
Ram.
Yeah.
I think Ram for the Masters. I think Ram for the Masters.
It's the wrong way.
JT.
No one said Bryson.
Because he's a cock. so that's the Masters out of the way. Then it's a PGA next, isn't it? Is it PGA?
Yeah.
The PGA.
I think so.
I think DJ for that. I think DJ or Brooks.
Oh, you reckon Brooks is back? I don't know about Brooks.
No, Brooks still injured.
I've gone with two. One that I'd like to see would be Xander. One I think probably is Webb Simpson.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Matty.
Ooh, Debbie's gone
Matty
Fitzpatrick.
For the PGA?
I think that's too long for him.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
Wait,
it.
I think the next major he's got a chance with because he's pretty simple.
I think he's doing really well.
Of course, it's too long.
I think Fitzpatrick could do some more damage at like the Masters because he's a great putter.
Yeah, you can plot your way. The Augusta's not massively long, so you can plot your way around now. And I think Fitzpatrick has a chance of being up there, definitely. But yeah, for me, I think it's DJ or Brooks.
I've got two in mind.
And it's 7,600.
That's not massively long for a tour course, Kent.
Not for those boys.
It's not. The Forest off the Blues is 73, 74.
Yeah,
Who's your two then,
They
Lee?
get 90 yards of roll.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
their fairways are cut shorter than our greens, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ricky Fowler
Oh,
Back.
or
that's risky.
Jason Day.
My God, that's a pair.
So it's either a first time or a comeback.
Wow. I would love to see either of those win, but oof.
Yeah, I would.
I think we'd all
So
like
then
Ricky to win one.
Yeah.
His back won't hold out for 4 rounds. And
Oh,
if it does, his head won't.
Yeah.
He's still not got that vertigo sorted, has it?
Was he not?
No.
No.
The trouble is, it's the classic, isn't it? When like someone like Ricky, who's been waiting for so long, the pressure just builds so much, and the strength and depth now is so great that no one gives anybody anything, do they? So someone's going to run away with it. I just feel it's so hard to win your first these days, especially after this long wait.
True.
Do you think if he does, though, that he'll string a few together?
Yeah,
I don't think
quite inspirational, isn't he?
I don't think there's anyone that's going to be able to dominate majors.
No, I was actually
with
just
the
about
pool
to
that there
say
is nowadays.
I don't think you'll get many super multiple winners. I think like the days of people winning sort of 5 to 10 tournaments a year, I think that's completely gone now.
I think the boys that are in and around it now, like even if DJ manages to finish with 3, I think he's done a great job.
I'm tempted to even say regular tour events. You know, I just don't see people having like 10 in a year or 5 to 10 in a year. It's just like too difficult now, isn't it?
What about the Open?
yeah, the big one, the British Open.
The US or the Open?
The
No,
We
the
haven't done the US yet
proper
either.
one.
There's only one open.
Proper one. For
We
me,
ain't done the US though.
It won't be Tigger, that's for sure.
It
honestly,
won't be Tigger Branches.
Did you hear that?
I think he's got a chance at the Open.
Or give over.
If he does, it's not that one. It's the following year at St Andrews.
Where's that next year?
It's
Well, St George's, isn't it?
yeah, St George's and then St Andrews, isn't it?
Are they keeping it there? I think he has. I think he's got a chance either way. But realistically, I think it'll be a Brit that wins it. I fancy Tommy. I fancy
Hatton.
Tommy's got to win one next year, and he should.
Yeah, I fancy
got-
Tommy.
I think Fleetwood will get one at the US Open
Yeah.
because I think he's so consistent off the tee when he's on form that's what's needed at the US Open.
Yeah.
And he's long enough to get it to
Yeah,
where
he
he
is.
decided to cut.
Well, the US Open's the last major of the year, isn't it?
I thought it was the Open, isn't it?
There's one after that, and I'm sure that's the US Open.
Often she was around
The
about.
PG. I'm not sure if it's the PGA and the US Open, but one of those is the last of the year.
It used to be the PGA, but then they rescheduled it and brought the PGA forward ahead of the US Open. So I think
right,
it goes Masters, PGA, US, then the Open.
Right, okay. Might be right then.
2019 was the first one of that. It was again obviously meant to be last year or this year, but that got thrown out the window with COVID.
So who are the young Americans could win? Well, not I say Americans. Let's put in Hovland as well. So you got Wolf is at Hovland, Schauffele,
Xander.
yeah,
Morikawa,
well, Morikawa's
already a
won one,
winner.
hasn't he? Yeah.
One
So I guess out of those other 3, which is the first one is going to get one?
Wolf.
Yeah, I reckon Wolf's the
I
man.
think
Do you?
Yeah.
Wolf's swing is the one that they talk about, but his short game and putting is so good.
They talk about his swing.
It's underspoken about because of his golf, his length and his swing.
They talk about his swing in the same way they used to, that when Furyk first came up, they spoke about his swing. It's because it's not.
Apart from he's 70 yards longer.
Well, obviously, it's 70 yards longer. But yeah, that's what they're speaking about swing, because it's not seen. If you watch my YouTube channels more in 2021, you will see it a lot more.
Ooh, taster.
Only after tea.
See, I think I see it as like the courage and the heart, you know, and I feel that, you know, Wolf, when he beat DeChambeau on that last hole, I just feel like he had everything against him at that point, and he came through so strong and so well.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like I almost don't even look at the swing. I just see whether those guys look like they've got the nerve and the heart to do it, you know. And you look at Hovland, he finished brilliantly the other week, didn't he, with a birdie on the last as well?
I think Wolf's demeanour on the golf course is really good to watch as well, though. Even when he's like if he's not in and about it, he still just wants to have a laugh on the golf course.
Yeah,
he's always smiling,
enjoying it, isn't he? He's still at that enjoyment.
Oh, it's good for the sport, definitely. Yeah, but I think they've all got that kind of Rahm vibe as well. They you know, you feel that they can make 2 or 3 birdies in the last 5 holes if they had to.
Yeah. They're never sort of down. They're always grinding out. And
that's the sort of weird thing that, I mean, I'm a big fan of Westwood, but I always feel that he's not going to quite do that in the majors. Yeah. I always feel like he might get a couple of shots ahead and hang in there, but I don't feel like, a bit like Montgomery back in the day, he's not going to suddenly burn up, you know, have a whole load of birdies, which we know that Rory can.
You don't see him getting on the birdie train the last 9 holes of us on a Sunday.
The explosive golfers,
and just pulling away. Yeah.
I think that's the thing with Westwood, isn't he? He'll make his birdies during the week, and he'll build a bank of birdies up, and then it just gets to the back 9.
I think it might be a bit like when Shane won the Open. I feel like when the weather's against those guys, people like Westwood, they're such bullet straight hitters, and I feel like that's the chance that they could probably win rather than shooting 20 under par, you know.
I think when it comes to the wet weather, I think the Europeans or the British Europeans tend to have a better chance, or those that still base themselves over here anyway.
Well, we're used to the punishment, aren't we? It's like a mental punishment.
Exactly.
I think Shane Lowry was incredible. He just that weather was horrendous.
The one in the Open near the year.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Who spends the year longest at number 1 then?
I think DJ. I think DJ's going to take some beating. I think DJ's going to take some beating.
I think
the first guy to win, I think the Masters is going to be a really big event. I mean, obviously it's a huge event, but I think that's going to really show, you know, if one of the young guys gets a win like Wolf, perhaps, I mean, they're just going to storm ahead. I feel like they're going to have so much kind of momentum moving in, because all the majors they're less spaced out now, aren't they? So you get one, you almost feel like you could win like 2 or 3 in a row, whereas before
I think
it's so difficult.
If you can stay in peak, you've got a chance of winning 2 on the bounce.
Yeah,
definitely. I think a third one would be an ask.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think there's only really, on paper at the moment, on form, 5 golfers that are really in contention with it. One probably not, because he's unwell, that we've spoken about. Brooks still isn't really fully over the injuries, but I think DJ, Rahm, JT, and Rory.
I think you're right. I think they're your big 5, aren't they?
I think the likes of your Wolves, if like you're saying, if they go on a run, if they get that one win and manage to maybe win 2 of the next 4 or 5 events, they might knock on the door and give them a run for the money. But I think currently on this point in time, just mentality-wise, these boys.
Yeah, I agree. But I tell you what, those young guys, Morikawa.
And they don't scare. They're not feared of them at all.
No, they're not. I mean,
no fear.
In days gone past, I don't want to go necessarily back to Nicholas, but back in those days, there was only about 2 or 3 people that could win them, because everybody else they were part-time golfers, whereas these days they're just, all of them are champions waiting to happen, aren't they?
It was the same in Wood's early days. In his early days, it was really Ernie Els, him, or VJ.
Yeah, well, there was a few. There was Mickelson. There was a few floating about.
No,
I think
thank you, Stu.
Tiger had a big advantage, didn't he, back in those days with his length and, you know.
Personally, I'd like to see John Rahm.
He'll get one. Got no doubts of that. I don't think he'll go as long as Garcia, and he won't end up possibly like Lee Westwood. You know, I think that he's just too hungry for it, isn't he? He's a quality player.
I think he's last year showed it as well. He's getting better with his temperament. He still blows up. He still gets really down on himself. But he's
Spanish.
He's Spanish. He's gonna blow up.
I know, but
And
you
you
know,
sort of
He's starting
feel
to learn how to handle it a lot easier.
he's managing it better 100%, but he's always going to have those.
I think he probably needs that though, doesn't he? He needs that.
He wouldn't be
fire
the
in there
golfer
as
without
well.
it.
Yeah, exactly. I had one today. I had one. I'm not Spanish.
No, you're just a moody get.
Might have captured it, mate. You didn't see the other one.
We've seen some tetchy stuff today.
Oh, mate, you didn't see the second one. You didn't
Is
see
that the one that you put in our group chat?
No, that's the same one they've seen with a driver, and I pulled it in my bag. No, the second one's a wedge, and I've let it go.
Helicopter.
Helicopter.
I was awful for that.
It's speared into the fairway. It's gone shaft in. Yeah.
I think I've actually played around with you once. You've got to the top of your backswing, and the club literally just went.
Yeah.
They just go. Boom.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it went further than your ball.
Yeah, it probably is. And do you know what? I genuinely thought I was grown out of that.
Which one of the tour players did that this year? He did one of those, didn't they?
There's a few.
Tyrrell Hatton's done it week in, week out, does he not?
He loves it, yeah.
Sergio's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely thought I'd grown out of it, and then today I've had two.
I had a really bad one during the summer where, apart from actually snapping the clubs, I went full tin cup and just played the rest of the round after 8 holes with a 7-iron. I refused to play anything else.
That's when you took your break.
But I didn't play well at all with it. I was a proper 3-year-old tantrum.
That's when you took a break, weren't it?
Yeah, and the wife will testify to that. The wanting to snap every club and then just playing with a 7-iron in.
Oh yeah,
Well, I think I've told you the story, haven't I? I lost my temper, helicoptered my club, it went into a tree. I had to climb the tree to get it out.
Back in the day when I was playing in a society at Stoney, so it was before I was a member. I've got a wedge into the 18th green. Obviously, you've played the 18th in my. Oh no, you haven't. You didn't play it. To the 18th, you've got a river. The River Avon now has a pitching wedge, tailor-made RAC LT pitching wedge in it because I've just given that into the river. And it's not until the thing is, unless you're that person that has a club shot, you don't realise what you're doing until the clubs hit the deck, and it's like, shit, that's in the water. But you've got people around, you're like, well, I just want them, innit? Dying inside that you've let a wedge go into the pond, and you're like,
didn't want it anyway.
Yeah, I didn't want it anyway.
I think the worst time I've ever had is I've literally played 4 holes. I've had 7 ham shanks in a row.
Easy.
Right. I've took my bag off. I have thrown the golf bag. When I got to the golf bag, I then kicked the golf bag, then kicked it again, and then realised how much my foot hurt.
You broke yours.
I've done that and broke the stand on the bag.
Sally's like, she looked at me and she went, "Is it time to go home?" I went, "No, it's time to go to the driving range. I need fixed."
Yes. When you get those head offs, it's just bad, isn't it? You just can't. To be fair, Stu and Kent, you don't strike me as that.
Oh dear.
I'm pretty laid back. I must admit, I've never been a club thrower.
Yeah, I broke my foot playing table tennis.
That's not golf. That's not golf. That don't count.
Yeah,
I've done it when I was 14. I was so angry after a bad tee shot. I've swung the club so hard that I've taken my whole body weight momentum out from underneath me and decked it in front of 2 other boys in a competition. And of course, they just pissed themselves laughing, which is the right response.
The best one I was savvy to. It was absolutely throwing down with rain. It was at Tracy Park. I want to name and shame this guy, but I better not. he was. We were playing on one of the. He was 2 holes ahead of me, and he called us through. He'd lost his ball anyway. So then there was a big raucous on the golf course. Everybody was laughing and kind of like there was a rumble going on. And what he'd done is he'd lobbed all his golf clubs into the pond, and he'd walked off, stormed off. And then we saw him walking back because he had his car keys in his bag. So he had to go in the water like knee deep and get his clubs out.
What a wally.
Talk about shameful.
I think the worst one I've had for me was, again, it was as a junior. Junior Open. Was it Junior Open or Junior Club Champs? One of the two. I'm on the 9th hole. I've hit a toe shank on my driver. It's Callaway Warbird, so obviously I'm young. It's cost a few quid. and I've launched it, and it's hit the bench and blew up into 3 pieces. I'm like, shit, I'm going to get battered when I get home. But yeah.
I can fix it.
Huh?
I can fix it.
Mate, literally, I've gone straight into the pro shop. Gone to because the pro was one of the lads. I'm like, mate, I need you to help me. I need you to fix it. Shaft. He goes, I've only got what's on the shop floor. I don't care. I need a shaft putting in this. I'm going to get grounded. So he's literally drilled the shaft out of the shop stock, swapped it over, and said someone took it out on the course and broke it. So that's nice one. Proper panic. That's the worst one I've had, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? When it takes over you. Yeah, I can't think what really.
When that mist drops.
Yeah.
When the
red mist descends, that's it.
When the red mist comes, mate, it's a funny one. It's a funny one because you don't know what's happening. You just don't, and it's like clubs go.
Yeah, it's a different sort of one, isn't it? Because generally, in the past, I would always say to people, you know, when you get people swearing and kind of like going mental after a bad shot, generally it's when, you know, other people are around. So there's 3 low handicappers and there's one who's like maybe a slightly higher handicapper. That guy hits a shot and then, sort of swears because he kind of didn't hit the green with an 8-iron.
Yeah.
And normally you think, well, they would never do that if they were on their own. Basically, they'd sort of try and exude to the other people, I feel like I should have done better there, and I want to let you guys know. But, you know, club breaking's completely different, because I've seen people out on their own completely lose it and just have an absolute head off, smashing clubs. It's not kind of, it's like you say, it's the mist.
When it comes down, mate, it doesn't matter who's there. And the golf course is the only place I get it. Or never anywhere else. Or maybe the car.
Have you seen the one where a boy was trying to hole a putt and he hit it and he thought he'd hit it offline so bad he just stands on the shaft, snaps it, and the hole it drops?
I'm not saying that.
It was a Callaway Odyssey putter as well. Obviously a good couple of hundred quid, and he just snapped it straight off at a rage because he's obviously been putting poorly, and then it drops.
Yeah,
I guess it sort of shows you care, you know. I don't mind a bit of passion, but yeah, it's a bit. I think I would just feel a little bit silly if I snapped a club or lost it. And the other thing is, I know that when I was a junior, I mean, I have had times where I've had a proper whinge, but I've always played poorly after it. I think, you know, some people, like you were saying earlier, like the Spaniards, they can have a head off and then they make 5 birdies. With me, I would just double bogey in.
Game over.
Yeah.
I may as well go in.
Yeah.
It's that I can't get back from it. When I was younger, it got really bad. So people didn't want to play with me because I was that bad.
Yeah.
I got to a point where we'd stand on the first tee and it's like, are you going to behave today? I'm like, we'll find out in a couple of holes, no doubt.
Well, I think there was one time we played when it was a Portal Golf Club, wasn't it? And I had one hole that literally just went really wrong. It was so bad. The course condition. I just literally walked to the tee on my own, the next tee, had a word with myself, and then I was all right.
But that's not
Can't
really
do that.
That's not the red mist, is it?
I don't know. I was fairly seasoned inside.
You were annoyed and you've stormed off. You've given your head a wobble, but you ain't had a club chuck or a paddy.
No, because I kind of respect my golf clubs now. I've changed. I'm a changed man.
That's not the red mist. And the red mist is whether you respect your clubs or not. You can't control what you're doing, and they're flying.
No, there is a reason. There is a reason why I'd no longer work for the Queen.
Well, yeah. See, that's what I was just saying. I think you might have popped up. I don't get that red mist anywhere else. Like I said, maybe the car, but the golf course is the worst place for me. I head off central.
Right, lads, I'm going to shoot off because I need to do a couple of things and hopefully try and persuade the missus to allow me to watch the Liverpool game later.
I was literally just looked at the clock.
No.
Okay, that one looks like it's not working. I might not be watching the Liverpool game.
There needs to be a vote on this.
Oh, wait, do we get to count the boys in on the vote?
I don't know whether I can.
Yeah, lads, can I watch the Liverpool game?
Of course you can.
Nah, I don't like football.
Absolutely.
That's majority have said yes.
No, I heard no. I heard a no.
Lee, you're getting shafted next time, mate.
I'll get on the bar stewards chat.
Don't come up to Scotland anytime soon.
Lee, when you come up to Scotland, I'll take you for a drink.
Not much use that.
Yeah.
Drink.
I'll have a tickets in as well.
See you later, boys. Have a good new year.
See you in a bit.
Guys, I'm going to wrap that up there as well because I want to watch the football. So, guys, girls, thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate your time again. Ferg, sorry, mate. I'm going to watch the football, so I know you've just come in, but time to watch the football. So, guys, girls, I will see you all next week. Have a fantastic new year, and I'll see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
There we go. He does